Welcome to Doc's Thoughts. I am Doc. Click like, subscribe, check out our GoFundMe. I truly hope you enjoyed today's reading. Come along now. Hello, this is Papa Doc, and this is a reading of Ulysse the Light Bringer, written 12/31/22, and this is our 2024 reading for Ulysse. The book is dedicated to my son Ulysse. You lit the light that lights my life. And this is also dedicated to all the children of the world whose lights shine bright as stars in the night sky. Without further ado, Ulysse the Lightbringer. Ulysse is a young boy around the age of 5. He loves to help others. He has great joy for life. Early in the morning, he makes his bed sheet. He says, "I love you," to his mom, then puts shoes on his feet. Before he hits the street, he kisses his mom goodbye. He loves his mom so much, it brings a tear to his eye. Now Ulysse is truly special. He carries a bright light inside. Every time he helps someone, his bright light grows in size. Using his positive thoughts and always being kind, everyone Ulysse meets, he helps their inner light to shine. He reminds himself every day to be the best human he can be. He always tries to learn something new and stays as humble as bee the bumblebee. While walking down the street, Ulysse came across a homeless man. Covered in dirt and smelly, he was digging in a garbage can. A businessman in too much of a hurry, walking fast, looking at the phone in his hand, kicked the stool out from under the homeless man and he fell into the garbage can. Ulysse is always very mindful of every person, place, and thing. So when he saw this man fall in, Ulysse thought of what help he could be. Ulysse quickly found a box to stand on and a stick to lift the lid. He helped the man climb out and then aided the man to sit. Ulysse said, "It looks like you're hungry," as he reached into his bag and pulled out a sandwich that his mom had made and gave the man half of what he had. The homeless man's eyes looked up, a grand smile upon his face. He thanked Ulysse for his kindness and promised one day it would be repaid. Ulysse told the man there's nothing to fear and that everything will be okay. Ulysse saw the man's light grow before he started to walk away. Ulysse's own bright light was now as big as a house. As he continued walking down the street, he came across a tiny mouse. The poor tiny mouse was injured. Someone not paying attention stepped on him. His tiny tail was bent out of shape and had a little leg that was broken. Ulysse, without a thought, scooped the tiny mouse into his hand, and he patched the mice right up, making a brace of cloth and rubber band. A girl working in a nearby store witnessed what Ulysse was trying to do, and she hurried to Ulysse's side and asked, "What help can I be to you?" Ulysse politely said to the girl, "Please provide the mouse with warmth indoors." The girl happily said, "Okay," and she took the tiny mouse into her store. Ulysse's light again grew bigger as he continued along his way. Now the size of a skyscraper, Ulysse's light shined brighter than the day. An elderly woman stopped Ulysse to say, "Young boy, can you help me, please?" This elderly woman had fallen and had lost her car keys. The woman's keys fell into a storm drain, but her hands were too big to get them out. So Ulysse cleverly used his brain and made a fishing rig to fetch them out. Ulysse quickly found a strong stick and tied it to a string from his shirt. He then used a clothespin as a hook. He created something that would work. Ulysse went fishing for the keys, and when he finally pulled them out, a crowd of sightseers that gathered around gave out a happy and cheerful shout. The crowd had witnessed what Ulysse had done, acting so selflessly for the elderly woman, and in that moment a change had begun. Ulysse's white light was drawn into them. Ulysse continued on his way, his light now the size of the town. Ulysse was feeling a little tired, so he found a nice place to sit down. Ulysse sat down on a park bench next to a man with a frown. Ulysse could tell right away that the man was feeling down. Ulysse gently touched the man's hand and said, "Everything will be okay." The man's frown turned upside down, and he turned to Ulysse to say, "My daughter's mouse just ran away, and I'm having trouble finding him." Ulysse looked up at the man and gave a big warm grin. Ulysse explained about the mouse he saved, then brought the man back to the store. And before they could even enter the store, the girl working there opened the door. She kindly welcomed Ulysse back and gave Ulysse a big warm hug. She told Ulysse she looked up to him because of the kind and generous things he had done. The girl's inner light then grew. It became bright like the sun. Ulysse smiling looked up and said, "There's still more work to be done." Ulysse politely introduced the man whose daughter's mouse had run away. Ulysse asked to see the mouse, and the girl brought it out right away. "Hooray!" exclaimed the man when he saw the mouse was his, overjoyed that he had found the mouse, all thanks to what Ulysse did. The man's light grew bright inside. He was happy to watch it grow. Later he would share this light with his family when he got home. Ulysse knew he had to go, so he wished the man and the girl the best. He started walking on his way home, feeling great love inside of his chest. Ulysses' light grew again. It was now the size of a mountain, but Ulysse was very thirsty, so he stopped to drink from a fountain. Ulysse, while drinking from the fountain, heard a screech and a mighty smash. The elderly woman whose keys he found had gotten into a car crash. The elderly woman was trapped. She was stuck inside of her car. When suddenly a crowd gathered around, all their inner lights were shining like bright stars. It was the same group of sightseers that earlier had cheered. Altogether, they picked the car up and moved it into the clear. The elderly woman exited the car, smiled, and said thank you to everyone around. Ulysse could see there was a change now happening everywhere in town. People were being nicer to each other and doing kind and thoughtful things. Ulysse knew deep down inside that this is what love's light brings. Ulysses' light grew once again, now the same size as the world. His light was very bright and beautiful. It looked just like a giant pearl. Ulysse continued doing many good things all throughout his life, until one day he got very sick and was taken to the hospital that night. Although he was very happy, Ulysse was a very poor man. He never cared for money. Donating all to charity was his plan. Ulysse could not afford the medicine he needed to live. He gave everything to help others. Ulysse had nothing left to give. The next morning when Ulysse woke up, a stranger was sitting next to his hospital bedstand. The man smiled as he looked upon Ulysse and then gently took Ulysse's hand. Ulysse couldn't help but smile. He had seen this man's light before, long ago, while Ulysse was still a child, while he was walking towards the store. There beside Ulysse sat the homeless man, dressed in a doctor's coat and tie. The man wanted Ulysse to understand that long ago Ulysse changed his life. After Ulysse had given him food and started walking on his way, the homeless man's light grew inside and he decided to make a change. He wanted to help other people's lights grow and spread love and compassion every day. So he got off the streets and went back to school, and finally a medical doctor he became. Ulysse shed a happy tear as the good doctor turned to walk away. The doctor stopped, turned towards Ulysse and said, "There's nothing to fear, and that everything will be okay." The end. Ulysse, you lit the light that lights my life. I love you so much, son. Thank you. Hey, this is Doc. If you like today's reading, click like and subscribe. Check out our GoFundMe. And please remember, for every person whose path you cross, just the tiniest amount of love can save the life of the one who's lost. Thank you. Go in peace.